and welcome to the DHL Supply Chain Pricing Power Index update. I'm here with Andrew Cox. Andrew, what's the latest?
Well, Anthony, the Passport research team and I had written over the previous couple weeks that we thought the first 10 days or the first 2 weeks of November would act as a bellwether for what we thought the entire holiday season would look like. So we thought if we saw a leg up in rejections and a leg up in tender volumes, that we would expect the holiday season to be pretty strong, and that's what we've seen over the past couple weeks. So over this past week, we saw both the contract market and our OTVI index jump up about 4%, and we also saw 70 out of the 100 spot market volume lanes jump up. So we kept the pricing power index at 80 this week. Carriers are in a fantastic position. They are reigning supreme, but that's not to say that they can't go any higher over the next couple weeks. I am expecting another leg up in the pricing power index, moving towards those holidays around Thanksgiving and on Christmas. Volumes are going to continue to come up, and we're going to see carriers even more selective as they try to get closer to home.
So you mentioned a lot of momentum potentially left for carriers in the next few months here. Thanksgiving, Christmas, are you looking at Black Friday deals throughout the month and like a lot of consumer goods?
Definitely. I mean, Amazon started off the early holiday shopping with that mid-October Prime Day, and we've seen volumes. I mean, we had seen volumes basically flatline at a very elevated rate since Labor Day. Like I said, this past week we did see another leg up in tender volumes, up 4% week over week. We're seeing surging import volumes. We still have low inventory to sales ratios, so we're going to have some replenishment happening here in the fourth quarter and into Q1. So on the volume side, things are pretty strong. We have consumer demand still up. I think the latest week that just came out yesterday from the Bank of America consumer spending data, total card spending was up 7% year over year for the last week of data we have, which is really strong given the overall economic backdrop. We still have 7 million Americans on unemployment insurance. Given that overall backdrop, consumer spending has been really strong.
And what's this doing for rates overall?
Yeah, so we'll get to rates in 1 second. I'll pop over just show you the truckstop.com spot rate volume. So as I said, a lot of green on this chart. You saw a leg up in spot volumes. Over 70% of the lanes were green this week. And then onto capacity before we touch on rates here. So we've, again, as Zach said, we saw tender rejections decline marginally this week. It's not so much of a big deal, really, because they hit an all-time high before that decline. And really, I don't think that the tender rejections need to stay this high or push higher to have upward pressure on the spot market. I think the spot market can stay tight even with tender rejections north of 10 or 15. So the only thing to note here is that this extraordinarily high tender rejection rate indicates to me that shippers may be losing grasp of capacity to the carriers.
Gotcha. And so a lot of action going on, a lot of activity. And is this something that you really saw happening coming into the third quarter or out of the third quarter?
Yeah, I mean, we've expected this coming through. So, moving on to the rates, where the capacity, the tender rejections leg up has accompanied a rise in spot rates as well. Spot rates are now just a hair under $3 a mile on a national level. They're up 17% year over year, which is down slightly from last week. They were up 21%. Of course, you can see that they're facing some tougher comps headed into the holiday season. We typically see that 20-25% rate increase on the spot market into the holiday season. So we've got tougher comps, but in any case, I still expect spot rates to take another leg up from here. All signs of capacity is that it's still very tight and that demand is still strong. So I could expect to see spot rates still in the low to mid double-digit range up year over year.
Got it. Excellent. So awesome information as always. I heard there's some new community stuff going on. Care to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. So we started these 3 new communities here at FreightWaves. So we've got a lot of tailored content focused on certain communities. I'm leading the retail community. The first iteration of that community is a bi-weekly newsletter called Point of Sale. You can go to freightwaves.com/communities to sign up for Point of Sale or for the CPG or automotive newsletters. Those are also available. So go in there and check them out.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Right, and thank you so much for tuning in. That's going to do it for this DHL Supply Chain Pricing Power Index update. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest.